Coping with COVID. Updates on the pandemic and information to help you thrive and survive COVID-19. It's brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control. Visit scdheck.gov for an updated list of testing sites and important information on how to protect yourself, your family, and friends from the coronavirus. SCDHEC. Healthy people, healthy communities. In it together and the South Carolina Diabetes Advisory Council, presenting Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday on Coping with COVID. The City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, helping to meet the needs of small, minority, and women-owned businesses in the City of Columbia. Log on to columbiasc.net/OBO. Agape Counseling and Training Services. Call 803-779-2777 for licensed professionals of counselors and social workers helping families, engaged and married couples, and individuals of all ages gain an understanding of all aspects of their lives. If you're having a challenge coping with COVID, contact Agape Counseling and Training Services at agapects.com. And Palmetto Media Connections, connecting media and communities together. Coping with COVID, brought to you by SCDHEC. In it together, the Diabetes Advisory Council, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, Agape Counseling and Training Center, and Palmetto Media Connections.
Coping with COVID with Tre Tailor.
Fight the spread and take a stand against coronavirus. Wear a mask in public. Stay at least 6 feet apart from others. And get tested. Join us and fight the spread. Visit scdheck.gov/COVID-19.
It's Fun Day Monday on Coping with COVID. I'm Tre Tailor. Updates on the pandemic and information to help you thrive and survive COVID-19. George Wallace is going to join us today, and we're going to have a great day. As a matter of fact, Coping with COVID is brought to you by SCDHEC, In It Together SC, the South Carolina Diabetes Advisory Council, also the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, Agape Counseling and Training Center, which, by the way, if you're having some challenges coping with COVID, please contact the folks at Agape Counseling and Training Center. Coping with COVID is also brought to you by Palmetto Media Connections. Well, as I said, it's Fun Day Monday with George Wallace, and in celebration of Black History Month, writer Caponda Narciso joins us with some of her little-known Black history facts. Welcome, Caponda.
Hi.
Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. We want everybody to get ready to smile and enjoy this Fun Day Monday with George Wallace and Caponda Narciso. We'll be right back in just a minute. But first, your COVID community updates. Today is the day that those 65 and older can register to get their COVID vaccine. Folks in that age group can call the DHEC vaccine line. That number is listed on the screen right now from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. or visit the DHEC website to make an appointment. Now, according to DHEC, over 87% of COVID-related deaths were people over 61. Smokers are next in line to get the COVID vaccine. Now, according to the CDC, smoking is an underlying condition and is being lumped in with heart and kidney disease and cancer. There is a bit of a controversy surrounding the decision, as many, even those who smoke, think other populations should be ahead of them. And Governor McMaster took to Twitter twice yesterday saying he opposes teachers being prioritized to take the vaccine. He said those who are at greater risk must be protected. This after public outcry from teachers and education groups who want school staff to be considered essential workers, especially, they say, since there is a push for in-person learning. McMaster says it is unethical. SCDHEC has your most up-to-date list of times, dates, and locations for COVID vaccinations, COVID testing, and also flu shots in and around South Carolina. Visit scdheck.gov for more information. Now, you can also visit gogettested.com. There you can make an appointment and get your test and get your results in under 48 hours. The DHEC Care Line is also available for you to get information if you want to organize a COVID screening in your neighborhood or at your event. Or they also have information on testing, transportation to get a test, and the COVID vaccine. Now, speaking of transportation, if you or someone you know is immobile and unable to get to a COVID test, Richland and Clarendon County paramedics are actually offering in-home COVID testing. Call 911 for more information. There is a specific line for information about vaccinations. There's a website and a phone number. Information is up on the screen right now. Once again, those over 65 and older can now get vaccinated. And please call that information if you want to get your COVID vaccine. COVID vaccinations are also being done at Lexington Medical Center. That information is on the screen right now. So if you live on that side of town and you want to get a vaccination, you can go by Lexington Medical Center. Also, veterans can get their COVID vaccinations through the VA. That information is also on the screen. Now, don't forget, throughout the show, we will be scrolling all of this information that we're talking about now at the bottom of the screen, in addition to several COVID testing sites. Now, COVID vaccines are also being done at Kroger pharmacies and also CVS pharmacies. Both of those locations are doing COVID vaccinations. Again, that information is on the screen, the locations. Please contact them for more information. The South Carolina Bar Association and SC Legal Services have collaborated to offer a toll-free number and website for rental and mortgage help. If you need it, the help is available, so please make sure to check it out. The NAACP also has a housing assistance program. This is going to help landlords, mortgage companies, and also tenants. Contact the Columbia branch of the NAACP for more information. The City of Columbia is continuing their 6-month payment plan for water bills and payment assistance up to 75%. And if you need help with virtual learning and working, Rashonda Pratt's YouTube channel is dedicated to folks just like you. Please go to her YouTube channel and hit subscribe for information about virtual learning and virtual working. And the Central Carolina Community Foundation has over $3 million in scholarships available for both students and adults who want to go back to school. Check the screen for information and visit the website to apply. And open enrollment starts again on February 15th. The Obamacare Affordable Care Act. If you missed registering, you can now register and find out if you are eligible to get a subsidy. Once again, that reopens on February the 15th. And if you need more information, go to healthcare.gov. I'm Tre Tailor, and you're watching Coping with COVID, updates on the pandemic and information to help you thrive and survive COVID-19. The Tailor-Made production page on Facebook is the home of Coping with COVID. Please go over there and hit like and follow so you can watch Coping with COVID Wednesday through Friday at 2 p.m. and also get all of your COVID-related updates. We also are streaming live on YouTube. Want to say hi to all of you YouTubers. Thank you so much for watching, and please be sure to hit the subscribe button. We also have a presence on Twitter and also on Instagram. Want to remind you to please post and share this information out so we can get the message to the masses as we celebrate Black History Month. We welcome back legendary comedian George Wallace, and he is here.
Yes,
hey,
I'm here. Good morning. Good afternoon. I'm here. You're looking so good today.
Thank you. You always look great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy New Year. This is actually your first time back this year. We haven't seen you on the show since, of course, I get late night texts from you all the time.
I'm here. I can't believe it's been
It's
last
been
year.
I hadn't seen you all year.
Well, you look good. You look better this year. As my bishop say, you look much better now than you do. You look good now, but you look much better in the future. Something like that, he said. You look better. And I see a lot of people in church and I'm going, no, you ain't gonna look no better in the future. You're just ugly. So, but you do look good. You look wonderful. And thank you for having me back on in 2021.
Thank you so much. So what have you been up to?
I've been doing everything. Of course, I've written a book and released a book since I last saw you.
Yes,
and,
yes.
I don't know what. Did I send you a copy? It's called Bull Twit.
You did not send me a copy, but we have been talking about your book on the air. That's right, Bull Twit. See it right there.
That's it right there. And it's all about online ramblings in my head. Those stupid things I think in my head. Like yesterday, I don't know whether you watched the Super Bowl, but yesterday I tweeted out, not this weekend, maybe next weekend. I don't know. I don't know whether you saw the halftime show or not. Maybe I'm old and maybe I don't get it, but I thought, well, maybe he's taking the weekend off. I don't know. Or maybe it's going to be next weekend. I don't know. So
yeah, a lot of people are thinking that maybe next weekend, maybe another weekend.
Maybe another weekend, but not this weekend. No. And then I guess most of us, our team wasn't winning. So we were pretty much down on that too. So, but it is what it is. And we shall continue to live. And congratulations to Tampa Bay. That TB was in there, wasn't it? TB, Tampa Bay, TB, Tom Brady, TB, the best. So
But did you see all of the people in Tampa all in the street, no mask, I mean,
Florida has been the stupidest state for how many years in a row now? This has been going on, and it's an open state. So it's
right.
the law. They can do whatever they want to do down there, and the governor doesn't care. And to this day, I think Tampa had 200 of the new variants. 200.
200.
And
Wow.
people are walking around with no mask, and that's why, please, people, take care of yourself. Stay at home. Stay out of harm's way. I got some friends right now going to Florida on holiday, and I don't know how to tell them, do you mind staying at home or go somewhere else? Go to Aruba where the numbers are down.
Yeah.
Why would you go to a place where the numbers are up?
Yeah.
Where you know the chances are. Stay out of harm's way. And I want people to do that. Take care of yourself. It's 2021. We got a lot to do, a lot to learn. We got a lot of things to talk about and enjoy life. Keep laughing in your life, because we've heard this week alone, I heard about 3 of my friends passing away, and I'm sick and tired of it. Yeah. My good friend, gospel singer Douglas Miller, he passed away this weekend.
Did
he? Yes, and I grew up in a home with him in Akron, Ohio.
Yes.
Once he left Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and he was good in Church of God in Christ, Firstborn Church of God of the Living God, and so just so many people. We just got to take care of ourselves if we can. I'm staying at home. I'm staying woke. I'm staying safe, trying to stay black. So.
But you've been busy on the talk show circuit. We've seen you, on several of the talk shows.
I've been on all the TV shows, and more to come. We got The Real coming up. We got The Talk coming up. We got The View coming up. We got everything, because we got to sell that book.
How's the book sales going?
The books are going good already in my second printing. So we're having fun. So, and it's just online droppings on my head, like I told you the tweet. What was it yesterday?
Maybe next weekend.
Maybe next weekend, not this weekend. So
yeah.
But life is fun. So, but I'm glad to be with you.
Thank you so much. Well, of course, it's Black History Month, and we have Caponda Narciso, who is a writer, and she's going to join us because she is really kind of a popular social media maven, I'll say, that has so many followers because she just has funny, interesting things that she says. And every year she posts these hilarious Black history facts. Caponda Narciso, George Wallace.
Hello,
Wallace.
Somebody smarter than me, and I can see that already. Already know that. I'm just listening to her. Somebody smarter than me, and she's got the quips and the quotes and the Black history. I only have one Black history note that not many people know. I made this up myself, and I think it's true. And you can tell me whether it's true or not. But the history is, why are there so many Black people in Newark, New Jersey? Well, back in the day, in the Great Migration, when all the Southerners, the Black people, were leaving the farms and the slaves, they got on the train, they went north, and they left Washington, D.C., and the conductor came over the microphone, next stop, Newark, Newark, Newark. And all the Black people went, did he say New York? Did he say New York? New York? So that's why. And they got off the train in Newark instead of New York. And it does sound kind of like, doesn't it? Newark,
it does, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why they got off the train. Yeah, because, we didn't speak well or listen well. We weren't educated back in the day. And Newark. And they got off the train. And that's my Black history fact.
That's your Black history fact?
And I made that up, yeah.
Well, I think some of these may be facts or fiction or stretching the facts, really stretching.
I mean, they could be fact, or they could be the ramblings of a maniacal genius, such as
ramblings. See, that's. But that did happen. That did happen, because sometimes you're on the train, and if you fall asleep, did he say New York or Newark? Because you have to know where the stops are, Washington D.C. and next stop. Yeah, so that probably, I made it as a joke, but I'm sure it did happen.
Amani Rodriguez says, we love Caponda Renee. She said she is amazing. Thank you, Amani. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. I want to encourage everybody to post and share this information out so we can get the message to the masses, because it is Black History Month. And then, of course, we know the Martin Luther Kings and the Harriet Tubmans and the George Washington Carvers. But do we know the let me see. Do we know, what about Essie Mae Freeman, Caponda? Tell us about Essie Mae Freeman.
Essie Mae Freeman. All right. So the little known Black history fact. On August 5th, 1925, Essie Mae Lucy Freeman became the first Black woman who didn't wear a slip, girdle, or stockings to church. Ooh. This event occurred at St. Luke Missionary Holiness Pentecostal Lord of Our Weary Years Evangelical Baptist Church in Ocilla, Georgia. There was a heat wave at the time, and of course the church was not air conditioned. So Lucy caught the Holy Ghost and passed out in the middle of her praise. Her dress flew up over her head, exposing her granny panty-clad bottom without the aforementioned undergarments. This was an abomination in that day and time. So Essie Mae was branded as a loose woman, hence the name Lucy, and put out of the church and put into history books for making this bold statement that many women, including myself, continue to make this day. Yes, we have shunned the foundations of decency and go to church now bare-legged and butts jiggling. We salute you, Lucy, for taking this bold step on behalf of big butt, big legged women across the South who want nothing more than to praise the Lord without constrictions and fear of a heat stroke.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is George Wallace. That is a true story because Essie Mae is my auntie. Aunt Essie Mae never wore drawers. That was a great history moment you gave there. Thank you.
Robin Kinston Gray says, hey, Caponda, love your little facts. Thank you, Robin, so much for watching. Barbara Bowman. So, Alyssa Woods Jones says, thank you, Miss Lucy. Thank you, Lucy.
Juicy Lucy, yeah.
Juicy Lucy. Okay, so that's one. What about, Caponda? What about the first gold digger? Let's find out about the first gold digger. What about that, George?
Are we ready for that?
That was Lucy. That was Lucy also.
No, Lucy didn't learn how to turn a profit for not wearing drawers. Okay, Sarah Renee Peyton Andrews was the first gold digger. On August 12, 1895, Sarah from Charleston, South Carolina, became the first known Black gold digger. This event took place on the Drayton Plantation, known as the most grandiose of plantations along the Ashley River in Charleston. Sadie was a caramel-colored quadroon whose beauty was unmatched by any woman, Black, white, or mulatto in the state. So John Drayton, who was the owner of the plantation, had a wife, but he desired a little bit of playtime with Sadie, who used to be the homeboy's lady. So Sadie,
the homeboy's lady,
former slave owner grandfather's business acumen, saw John's unyielding desire as a opportunity for her to gain profit. She resisted his advances long enough to have John build her a large playground, which was a mansion more grand than his, complete with fine horses and a team of indentured servants. Sadie finally gave John a taste of the honey. He was so thrilled that he shared the news with other men of prominence that he met throughout the state. But he warned them that if you're with Sadie, you got to pay to play, and the price is steep, but it's worth it. So another wealthy suitor who would happen to own a gold mine, he thought that he would give Sadie a little bit of time, and he told her he would give her a gold mine for 24 hours of her time. It was explained after the transaction that though she owned the gold mine, she didn't get the workers. So she took a shovel and vowed to dig for gold herself. So Sadie spent many days in the mine digging and securing her wealth, much to the dismay of the long line of suitors she turned away. They started referring to her as a gold digger, which was actually her occupation, but it became a term associated negatively with Sadie and her pay play business. This term in business was practiced for centuries after Sadie, with many women being successful gold diggers, making lucrative livings from being beautiful and possessing the wherewithal to turn honey into money. However, in the most recent years, gold diggers have become almost non-existent because of the emergence of the side chicks who made the gold diggers stock plummet because of their willingness to do the gold digger's job for not a damn thing. We salute Sadie on behalf of wives of professional athletes, those of us who still keep a shovel in our possession, and the men who understand that you get what you pay for all across the world.
All right.
Oh my God! What Black History moments have we on this Monday? That is wonderful. As the old black people say, nobody ever explained it to me that way, you know. But that is what I like. This Black History moment. This is cool. I'm used to hearing things like James and John Johnson, Weldon, that lift every voice and sing. But this is some new information. I like this. I'm going to be quiet, shut up, and listen and learn.
You need to know about the people who really make our life better. All of these things made our lives better.
Yes, of course. And look, SMA and Sarah, what's her name, Sarah?
Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah. Oh, Sadie. Yeah, Sadie. Yeah.
Yeah. Michael Bookman says, Caponda, this is awesome. Mitchell Peace Joy Jen says, funny. Harlequin Jones says, we anxiously await her facts every February. She says she loves Caponda. Barbara Bowman, thank you for watching. She says, Caponda and George make a perfect combination. And Terrence McDaniel says, George, that you should do a virtual concert. He said he loves your comedy. Terrence, thank you so much. Thank you so
Terrence. Thank you so much. I don't know what I'd talk about. I could just talk about anything, huh? As long as they're paying, you know, I ain't no gold digger. I'm a green digger, okay?
Amani Rodriguez says, SCSU greatness, go Bulldogs. She's a South Carolina State University alum, George. So she is a academia like you. She's like you said, she's one of them smart girls.
How about that, huh?
Yeah, we're talking to Caponda Narciso and the legendary comedian George Wallace today with some little known Black history facts. Caponda, you want to share a couple of more with us? What would you like to know? Yeah, all right, give us one. What about this one, George? We thought we would like this. The first person who got the black beat off of him.
Oh my goodness. That had to be my older brother. That had to be my older.
You said that's your older brother?
Yeah, mama, they beat the black off of him, and they beat.
So this next fact is actually a double fact. It's the first person to beat the black off someone, and also the first person to get the black beat off of them. So April 19, 1810, Mary Ellen Peyton became the first Black woman to literally beat the black off someone, effectively making her son, James Edward, the first child to have the black beaten off of them. This event occurred on the Peyton plantation in Jacksonville, Florida, where Mary Ellen and James lived. James was always taunted about his dark skin by his brother Mason, who was a house Negro. And he was also the green-eyed mulatto bastard of the master.
Oh, Lord.
James grew ashamed of his skin and always complained about being the color of crude oil. His mother warned him about condemning his skin and told him if he said one more thing about being dark, she would beat the black off of him. James disobeyed his mother and cursed his black skin one more time. This enraged Mary Ellen, prompting her to beat him, as she said, and consequently, James was able to pass for white for the rest of his life. This common threat is likely made at least monthly by Black mothers and continues to frighten the hell out of Southern Black children to this day. We salute you, Mary Ellen, on behalf of evil, strict mothers, and we also salute you, James, on behalf of those dark-skinned people who are ashamed of the skin they're in, who secretly desire to be white.
You know, you got your ass beat really good when they got it's dated. They know the exact date they hit his ass. They beat the black off of him. That's some history right there. I love this.
Yeah, they made note of it, see, because they were getting in line, the ones who didn't like being Black anymore. They want everybody is turned into another business, but we'll get into that later. That's kind of like fetishes.
Now you're talking about bleach and glow and Ultra and all of those creams that people.
There you go, whole businesses.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So George, you said that was your brother, huh?
They beat the black off of him. They beat the ass out of him. They beat that was my oldest brother. My oldest brother's Tater Pie. Now let me give you some real Black history. My oldest brother, George, his name was George Wallace, also Jr. George Wallace Jr., known as Tater Pie, one of the first Black golfers, professional golfers in America.
Oh, wow.
He used to caddy for Bobby Jones and people like that here in Atlanta, Georgia. And you can do some history on him. I don't talk about him enough being one of the first black professional golfers. All the guys, Charlie Sifford and Lee Elder, they stayed at our house when they came to Atlanta, Georgia, because like early blacks, they had nowhere to stay. And you know about the book Green Book, right?
Yes,
people
the Green Book. Yes.
Yeah, people stayed at other people's homes because there were no motels and hotels and things like that. So in the golf world, my brother was one. They called him one of the guys. He beat a lot of white men out of money, but play like, what do you call it? First, he didn't play well, and then he played very well and kicked your butts. And you can go to Washington Post and look up the history on George Wallace, Tater Pie Wallace. And a lot of history in my family. Yesterday was the Super Bowl. I got to let you know, I have 7 Super Bowl rings in my family. So I guess that's black history also. I don't think too many black families. My brother played for the San Francisco 49ers, Steve Wallace, with Joe Montana and Steve Young. 3 rings. My nephew is Amani Tuma, played for the New York. Oh, you got the picture there. Oh my God, you're ahead of me. That's Steve Wallace right there playing in the Super Bowl. And my other than Bobby Hamilton played for the New England Patriots. You are way ahead of me. That is so cool. So my family is so blessed. I could just go on. I'm one of the most blessed person you've ever met. And I just thank God for being with you today. I'm getting a little sentimental now because that's how blessed I am.
Yeah, we're so glad to have you, legendary comedian George Wallace and writer Caponda Narciso, sharing little known and well known Black history facts. George, someone said, I think it's Terrence McDaniel said that all he needs is a bottle of brown liquor, I think he said, and you and Jay Anthony, he said it would be a great concert. So
I don't like Jay Anthony, and he knows I don't like Jay Anthony, and most people know I don't like Jay. He doesn't like me, and I don't like him, but they like us together.
Right.
They like us fighting each other. And it is some kind of show. But right now, I am so delighted to be with Caponda. I can't read because the printing is a little small. It is Caponda. Caponda.
Yes.
Her slave owners were the Al Capone family. Did you know that? Give me a little. She'll tell you the history on that.
Yeah, well, actually, a true fact, my name is a city in Mozambique, Africa.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Is the name of the city Caponda?
That's a true fact. Although my ex-husband told people that Caponda meant bull nuts in Swahili.
And it sounds like you beat the black off his ass. That's what it sounds like to me. Bull nut. As opposed to bull
whip. Right. That's right. That's right. We want to hear one more story before we take a break, and then we're going to come back with a couple of more. In the same vein as beat the black off, what about the first person who got the taste knocked out of their mouth?
Well, it's actually the first person to knock the taste out of someone's mouth.
Okay.
But I got you. So this little known Black history fact is about Mavis Big Mama Bailey. January 12, 1926, Mavis Big Mama Bailey became the first woman to actually slap the taste out of someone's mouth. This took place in Mobile, Alabama, where Big Mama was a well-known bootlegger. She was making a fresh batch of moonshine when she caught her husband Wilbur with a ladle in his hand. She asked what he was doing, and he replied he was just having a little taste. This angered Big Mama because she viewed every sip that he sneaked as money lost. So Big Mama slapped Wilbur in the mouth, effectively causing 2 teeth in the liquid to spew forward from his mouth. She then said, every time you try to sneak one, I'm going to knock the taste out your mouth. The hit was so hard that it caused Wilbur's tongue and gums to swell, preventing him from ever being able to taste anything again. This phrase strikes fear in little children and effectively stops husbands who try to taste food out of pots to this day. We salute you, Mavis, on behalf of female entrepreneurs and mothers who make idle threats everywhere.
Am I learning today? You had a program up earlier where they pay you the scholarship money available to go back to school.
Yes.
I was thinking about that, and guess what? I just went to school. I've been to school, and Caponda, I want to thank you so much. I love you. I don't know what you're doing, where you're getting this information from, but I'm soaking it in.
She make it up.
She makes it up, George. She makes it up.
No, hold on a second. You making this shit up?
I made all of this up. Yes.
Yo, you know what? You're going to hell. You know what? Just like I made up the story about Noah, these are stories. This is so good. I love this. I
Yeah.
love this.
Made it up.
She's such a great writer, and she's not doing any comedy or anything. She got a good government job, but she is.
Why is she not doing comedy?
I have no idea. People tell me all the time. I hope when I host events and do these writings that I should, but
Yeah.
hey, I'm just trying to make a living, and I'm too broke to go out there and think I can make some money doing comedy. I'm just trying to buy a house to bring my mama to live with me. I ain't trying.
But George, wouldn't she do well as a writer?
Are you kidding? What she just wrote is fantastic.
All of that she wrote, that just came from her mind.
And is that the only 3 you wrote, or you got a lot more?
I've got maybe 30 of them.
Oh, that's all you need. That's all you need to get started. And then other things and people will add to you. They will reply, and you will start to grow. You need to continue to do this more, and because it's definitely fun. Because you know what, a lot of people can relate to being the taste slapped out of the mouth. My mama actually said to me she's gonna slap me in the middle of next week.
Right.
And I said, I knew I had a date over the weekend. I had to be cool, you know. So, and they said, and this is true too. I'll slap you till you see stars, which was our discipline back in the day. And you know, that is a true one right there. That is the truth, the slap until you see stars. So there's so much Black history going on here. Oh my goodness, this is so, turn over a new leaf, you know? What's wrong with the old leaf? What was on the backside of the old leaf you had? All of these things, I like those things.
Yeah. Denise Wiley says exactly what everybody says, that she should really do that. She said, somebody sign her, please. Kimberly Hicks says, good afternoon. Keisha Solomon, thank you so much for watching. Meredith Collier, and also Latrice Jameson McDaniel, Mitchell Peace, Joy Jen, F. Maxine Moses. Thank you guys so much for watching Coping with COVID. The legendary comedian George Wallace joins us.
What I'm saying is there's one joke on a page. I'm talking to Caponda now.
Okay.
What I'm saying to you, I got one joke on a page. You can write 30 pages or 40 pages, Black history, and it will sell forever. It will sell forever. I think you should do
if she's got 30, she could do one every month. Although there's number 28 days, but you know.
Well, this year I think there'll be 29. Is this a leap year? No. It was
Well,
last year.
you can just say, just in case, if it is leap year, just add a bonus.
Yeah.
And I think you can do that. And then people will add on and give you jokes. Oh, the made up history, the lies. Oh, this is just wonderful. I love it. That's what I do. I lie for a living. I love to lie. I could, matter of fact, you should sell me some of the stuff that you got, and I will pay you for it, because that's some good Black history there.
Hey, we could talk offline. I'm telling you.
You talking about Blackish?
All I want. I told you all I'm trying to do right now.
All I ever
my
wanted.
mama here with me.
Well, you want to do, that's a great goal, but if the Lord blesses you to do more,
I will do it.
Yeah.
I will do it.
Alyssa Woods Jones says, yes, George, encourage Caponda to pursue comedy writing. She is amazing. She says, love you, line sister. They're line sisters.
Oh,
Yes.
I love y'all.
You have no idea. You're just hearing from a few of us today, but there's so many people that love you and what you're doing. I'm going to talk to you afterwards, and more people are going to hear about you.
Oh my God! Thank you. Thank you.
All right, the legendary comedian George Wallace is with us. It's Fun Day Monday. I'm Tre Tailor. Caponda Narciso joins us, and coming up, we've got more little known Black history facts from Caponda on Fun Day Monday. We'll be right back.
Coping with COVID, updates on the pandemic and information to help you thrive and survive COVID-19. It's brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control. Visit scdheck.gov for an updated list of testing sites and important information on how to protect yourself, your family, and friends from the coronavirus. SCDHEC, healthy people, healthy communities. In it together, and the South Carolina Diabetes Advisory Council, presenting Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday on Coping with COVID. The City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, helping to meet the needs of small, minority, and women-owned businesses in the City of Columbia. Log on to columbiasc.net/OBO. Agape Counseling and Training Services. Call 803-779-2777 for licensed professionals of counselors and social workers helping families, engaged and married couples, and individuals of all ages gain an understanding of all aspects of their lives. If you're having a challenge coping with COVID, contact Contact Agape Counseling and Training Services at agapects.com. And Palmetto Media Connections, connecting media and communities together. Coping with COVID, brought to you by SCDHEC. In it together, the Diabetes Advisory Council, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, Agape Counseling and Training Center, and Palmetto Media Connections.
Coping with COVID with Tre Tailor.
This flu season arrives during the COVID-19 pandemic. Groups at risk for serious illness from COVID-19 and flu are similar, but complications from flu are much higher in young children. Everyone over 6 months of age should get a flu shot to help prevent more illnesses, hospitalizations, and deaths in South Carolina.
The flu is not just a cold. Each year, many South Carolinians are hospitalized from the flu and even die.
Getting the flu vaccine is the best protection against the flu for everyone in your family.
The flu vaccine is safe, effective, and does not cause the flu.
You can make a difference this flu season by protecting yourself from the flu.
It's important that I protect my baby.
It's important that we protect our families.
It's important that we protect our schools.
And our students.
It's important.
It's important.
It's important.
It's important that we protect our state.
Talk to your healthcare provider, pharmacist, or health department about the flu vaccine today.
Every cookie sold in the Girl Scout Cookie Program helps girls learn lifelong lessons in people skills, decision-making, and goal setting. It's amazing how much you can learn from a cookie.
Celebrating Black History Month, Coping with COVID presents African Americans in the White House. South Carolina native Jamie R. Harrison is the first African American to chair the Democratic National Committee. The past chair of the South Carolina Democratic Party for 5 years, Harrison was selected to the United States Senate Youth Program and received a scholarship to Yale University. Last year, Harrison broke the record for U.S. Senate campaign fundraising by securing $109 million. He is the first African American to serve in the role of chairperson for the Democratic National Committee. South Carolina native Jamie Harrison, a Black history maker in the Biden-Harris administration. Celebrating Black History Month, Coping with COVID presents African Americans in the White House. From TaylorMade Productions.
Thank you so much for joining us on Coping with COVID, updates on the pandemic and information to help you thrive and survive COVID-19. I'm Tre Tailor. It's brought to you by SCDHEC, In It Together SC, the South Carolina Diabetes Advisory Council, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, and Palmetto Media Connections. Coping with COVID is also brought to you by Agape Counseling and Training Center. Please, if you're having some challenges coping with COVID, contact the folks at Agape Counseling and Training Center. Hey, don't forget to post and share this information out so we can get the message to the masses. We are having a great time with legendary comedian George Wallace. It's Fun Day Monday with George. He comes to us usually first Monday, but it's second Monday. Isn't that great about Jamie? I know you were a big supporter of him during the race, but we all knew he was going to bounce back, even though he didn't win the race, you know.
But of course, he's such a lovable guy and likable guy. He's the right guy to be in charge of the party.
Yeah.
And we're just going to have that. He's got my mayor, Bottoms, here in Atlanta as an assistant. So we're going to make some changes. We see so many changes happening now because of, I'm going to call her name again, Stacey Abrams, fair fight, putting all these votes in and making a change and making a template that the entire South Carolina, I think Texas is going to be the next blue state for sure. But now that we black voters, we know black voters matter, and the young 30% of the whites and all of the other people of color, we know your vote matters, and there's going to be some amazing changes coming about in the near future because we have local elections coming up. A senator dropped out today, his last time running in Texas. Betos, get ready for that. It's going to be, I'm just happy because of Stacey Abrams, and more black people know that their vote does count. And we made a change. We saw what happened in Georgia.
Absolutely.
And, I haven't talked to you since I wrote one of my favorite jokes. One of my favorite jokes is a black man and a Jew walked into a bar, and the bartender says, "May I help you, senators?" It's a Georgia joke, and that's good. You know, it used to be a substance in the middle, just cut to the chase. Now, may I help you, senators? Warnock and Ossoff
Yes.
at the bar. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
So we made a big change in the South, and we're expecting major changes coming. And in the last 2 weeks, America, matter of fact, I haven't talked about that. In the last 2 weeks, America's just seemed like we're back on the right track already.
Oh, yeah.
And for us comedians, we wake up, we're kind of pissed because it ain't funny.
You don't have any material.
You nothing to talk about, You got, and I was mad. I was really mad last week. I was talking about Joe Biden. I mean, he's good, but he ain't funny. We ain't making no money. He walking there using a 4-letter word. When the hell the last time we heard a word like plan? We haven't heard a 4-letter word in 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Joe Biden. It's good, but it ain't funny. Joe Biden, I like him, but I hate him at the same time because I can't get no jokes. Joe Biden walks up in the room and the COVID team. He's got epidemiologists, he's got scientists, he's got doctors, he's got people from the what do you call it, HIS?
World Health.
Yeah, all these smart ass people coming in with a plan. That's good, but it ain't funny. And then walking there with his family members and some guy from mypillow.com. So the last 2 weeks, we seem like we're back on track, and Joe was doing the right thing, and we just feel more comfortable. And the world feels comfortable, and that's good.
And
Positive.
he is. Joe is coming in there. He is knocking down everything Trump builds up. He's doing so many great things. And you're right. Unfortunately, the facts are not funny. That's why you need Little Known Black History Facts. That's why you need stuff like Caponda.
We got to make up some stuff now. Everything is so true and positive. There's so many things that happened since we last talked, and the people going to the White House and breaking into the White House. I was angry about them letting the people that just let them walk in the White House. But what did they do, Caponda? They let them walk out. Now, had we been inside those barriers, ain't no way in hell we'd have come outside those barriers without going to jail.
Well, we would have come out in body bags.
Oh, there you go. We never would have got in the first place.
Right.
Been in body bags. Yeah,
it was crazy. Yeah, they let them go in, come out, go in, tear up the place, go out, and go back home.
And put it on camera. Well, we got the answer, but they better give them time. They better give them some time, make them do a lot of time. And we need to get Trump. Trump is supposed to be, what's he doing? If he can get a legal team.
Well, the impeachment trial starts today or tomorrow.
If he can get a legal team, I don't care what kind of team he gets. He needs to go to jail.
Yeah. Well, he had 3 South Carolina attorneys hired, and they all left.
They couldn't handle it, could they?
Well, supposedly he wanted his defense to be based on election fraud, and they were like, "Nah, man,
we can't find it." Do you have it? Do you have evidence? No evidence whatsoever.
No.
So the team said, we got to go. And also the teams were leaving because some of their clients were going like, if you're going to represent him, you can't represent us. Okay. Yeah. They told the mypillow.com, he went over to Bed Bath & Beyond and said, no, we don't have your pillows no more. Your pillows be gone. And I haven't had a decent night's sleep since I slept on that piece of crap.
Right, your pillow's gonna be your pillows.
Your pillow's gonna be your pillows.
Your pillows.
Exactly.
Right, my pillows. Listen, before we go back to Caponda with some more of her Little Known Black History Facts, you mentioned Stacey Abrams. A lot of people thought, and did you think that she would be chosen as to chair the Democratic National Committee over Jamie?
I think she was probably asked. And then she got some bigger things to do.
I think so too. I think so too.
I already made billboards up on my Twitter account. It says the state of Georgia, and the governor Kemp, his face there, and says, "You're next."
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Kemp, you're next. He's gone. So Stacey's going to get her right place. She's going to be governor of the state of Georgia.
I think so too.
And there's so much work. Like the state of Texas has already called her with that template to go to Texas. And because if you don't know this, there were 276,000 Black registered voters that did not vote in the state of Texas. 276,000 Black voters that did not vote, already registered. Now, that would have made a major difference, right? John Beto's going to be in office right now. So we do know we're going to vote the next time, and people are going to be in a hurry to vote. South Carolina's going to change. If we could just do something with your guy there with the, oh my God, Lindsey Graham. Wavering and saying one thing the next day and one day, and just this guy's crazy. So we got to get rid of. And the problem with America and Congress, and has been all these years, too many old rich white men.
Yeah. It's an old boys club.
And that's the way it is. And that's why the laws are written. That's why we're in jail now for marijuana. What the hell should these kids be in marijuana? There was a kid went to jail. There was a kid who was 16 years old, stole a backpack, stayed in jail for 3 years, didn't get a trial. And the girl that stole the computer out of the Capitol, what they do, tried to sell it to Russia. She went home to her mama. So, you know, the system is against us. Now you got me going into systemic racism, but I'm sure there's some more history facts that we're going to just laugh at.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Legendary comedian George Wallace joins us. It's Fun Day Monday with George Wallace. Caponda Narciso, who is an incredible writer, also joins us with her little known Black history facts. Dina Marie says that she's appreciative for the opportunity for laughter on this Fun Day Monday with the guests. She says she agrees with you, George. Caponda made her fun facts so believable. Dina, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. So, Caponda, what about you've got one about Mardi Gras. What about the one about Mardi Gras? The Mardi Gras beads. What's that one?
Let me see what I can do here.
You've got the first person to
the people from New Orleans, from Nolans. They call it Nolans. They don't call it Nolans. Yeah, just one word.
Yeah, wait
that's
a minute.
That's what I like about them people down there. They think they can combine the whole sentence into one word. I was in Nolans. I walked to a restaurant, and the lady said, "Jeet." I said, "Jeet." That means, "Did you eat?"
Jeet. Jeet.
And they got Jew. Yeah. So Mardi Gras. Here we go with a little known Black history fact about Mardi Gras.
Okay. So this little known Black history fact happened February 27th, 1837. Genevieve Antoinette Dubois of New Orleans, Louisiana, better known as Prissy, was the first Black woman to earn beads in the Mardi Gras parade. This event took place in the French quarters of New Orleans during the first Mardi Gras parade. Genevieve, who was a privileged mulatto, thought herself to be upper class. During the parade, she saw a man with several strands of multicolored beads and wanted them for herself. She offered to buy them all. The man, Christophe Guillaume Baudet, informed her that she could not buy his beads. She must work for them. Prissy was determined to purchase the beads, but had her purse hidden in her bosom for safety. She removed her petticoat and corset, exposing her perky cafe au lait colored breasts to find her well-hidden purse. Before she could pull out the money, Christophe, eyes and pants bulging, gave her every strand of bead with her praise for the beautiful ample bosom. Every man in the French Quarter who witnessed this event started giving her things. Upon noticing how many trinkets were bestowed upon her for a partial striptease, Prissy decided to change her name to Lady Marmalade and offered more than the partial striptease by opening a string of successful brothels. This sparked the tradition of earning beads at Mardi Gras that is still honored today, along with boosting the tourism rate in New Orleans during Mardi Gras season. And it also inspired a fantastic song by LaBelle. We salute you, Creole Lady Marmalade, on behalf of women with ample bosom and a fetish for plastic metallic colored beads, well-paid whores and horny men with deep pockets all across America.
All right. Salute.
Hey, you got to salute.
That's right. I think George is frozen. George? Yep, he's frozen. All right, it's Fun Day Monday with George Wallace. Caponda Narciso joins us. I want you to do your last one, but I want George to come back in. So I know we probably lost him because of his internet connection. I want to say hey to F. Maxine Moses. It says LOL, we salute you. So while we get George back in, Caponda, tell us about your writing process.
Mostly I sit down and some thought enters my head and I say, I wonder who was the first person to get Mardi Gras beads. And I said,
oh, you actually think that? You think, I wonder who?
I think a lot of crazy stuff. And like, I have facts about the first person that cooked fish and grits together. Or, because as you're eating these things, you say, I wonder who did that. So in my mind,
you wonder who did that.
And my process is I think a thought, I write, and it hits. I do a lot of improv, speaking, and writing. So something will interest me, and I think it's funny, and I say, well, if I think it's funny, other people think it's funny, because I don't think a lot of things are funny.
Right.
So that's just my process. I'm like, and if it's okay with me, I don't care if other people like it. I like to entertain, though. I do like to entertain. I like to make people laugh, because there's not enough of that going on.
Absolutely. F. Maxine Moses says it's because you're crazy, but we love her. Thank you, Maxine.
I think there's a thin line between mania and genius, and I walk that fine line.
Absolutely.
Being a maniacal and genius. So that's how I brand myself. I'm a maniacal genius.
Maniacal genius. George, she said that there's a fine line between, what did you say, crazy and funny?
I said mania.
Well, listen, I want to wait for a second there. I don't know about you guys, but she was talking about the beads. And when the man saw the breast, he went crazy. And that's why when you go to New Orleans, everybody loved the beads. And I don't know what and people get killed over the what do you call them, blooms, and they're thrown with the wagons coming through the floats. And there's been a few people killed over that, and with the beads and the different color beads. And I did not know when the man saw the beads, he went crazy. And that's what the term, if you go to New Orleans on Mardi Gras, the men are shouting in the quarters, show your breast. They say, show your tees.
Right.
Oh,
Show your, and the ladies throw up their
shirts. They pull up the shirt. Yeah.
And you can't say TIT on radio, can you? But that's what they would say. Show your TITs. Yes. If you've been there. That's the truth.
It is the truth. Yeah. And that's why this is a totally believable story. Because listen.
Oh, no, that's true. That's true. That's true.
But everything I do, it has some hint of truth in it. But I don't know these facts. I don't know these dates. But and most of the dates in my Black History facts relate to somebody I love's birthday, except for the years. And their names of family members, like, the Paytons from Jacksonville. My great grandmother was a Payton from Jacksonville. We're related to Walter Payton. She was his great aunt, something like that. But you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit of truth, but most of it is just, like I said, the maniacal ramblings of a genius.
How about that? And that's what I do too. There's a little bit of truth, and that's how I write jokes. Yeah. My formula is AB3 or 1, 2, C. The AB3 is a twist at the end. This is cool. This is cool, but there's a twist there, and that's why we write your jokes. And you're doing a wonderful job in your own way, especially adding your own years. And you got people. That last history fact was in the month of February, so I know that one was true. So, little known Black, and you keep mentioning Jacksonville, Florida. So much in Black history happened in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
One of the first Black beach is between Maryland but most people say the first Black beach was Fernandina Beach. And I went there as a kid. I lived in Atlanta. We used to go to the beach in Jacksonville, Florida. Now it's called American Beach in Jacksonville, Florida. The first Black beach, okay? And we all know Lift Every Voice and Sing originated where? Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah. Charles Weldon Johnson. Yeah, absolutely.
And his brother,
And his brother?
Well, his brother put the music to it.
Oh, okay.
James put the music to it.
James,
Okay. Y'all know how I feel about that song. I always say, if your child can sing every Beyonce song, but does not know the words to Lift Every Voice and Sing, you have failed as a parent, and your Black card should be revoked.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, now you just got into a whole different area. Let me tell you something. I'm born, raised in Georgia back some days ago, okay? And I grew up with Lift Every Voice and Sing, and that is one of the most important songs.
It is.
Let me tell you something. If you grew up in the South and you had Black History Month, and you know this song and you were taught this song, I put this song in my show in Las Vegas about 5 years ago. I would open up the show, and you should get this version. It's out of Connecticut. Lift Every Voice and Sing, and it's showing all different eras we've gone through from New Orleans, how we were mistreated in the systemic racism and Oprah and success and all of the bad things that happened to us. I'll send you the link.
Okay,
and,
please do, George. Thank you.
And it was called the Black National Anthem.
Yeah.
And when I put that in my audience in Las Vegas, 750 people in the audience, and 50-50, and all of a sudden you saw about 40 black people, 60, 100 black people standing up, and everybody was going, what are they standing for? And then if you know the song at all in your heart, this is touching. And you can cry with these lyrics, and everybody was running to me, George, what's going on out there? I says, I know what's going on. And I would play it every night. And I said, this is Black History Month. And mostly we play it in February, but I'm going to play it every damn day of the year. And I want to show you about systemic racism. I took the song when I left the Flamingo. They hired me up at the South Point Hotel, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. weekend, January 19th weekend. I played the song opening, Lift Every Voice and Sing Till Earth and Heaven. I'm going to send you the version that is so great. You might want to close the show with this.
I would love to.
But do you know what? I got fired because the white people in the audience said, what's that all about?
What?
That was before the George Floyd, when people didn't understand what Black Lives Matter meant. And you had little views of photos of what happened in Hurricane Katrina, how they were treating us dead on the street, in the stadium, water everywhere, and you cotton picking, and James Cleveland, and Oprah, and the success of all this. And it ended with President Barack Obama walking out on the stage, and boom, 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 boom. It's just awesome, wonderful. I'm going to send that to you in a few minutes. And I swear to you, lift every voice and sing. So, Caponda, I know what you meant, and thank you so much for telling people and teaching people about the song.
Yeah, she's very adamant about that. She really is. She really is. So she was telling us a little bit about her process, George. And tell me about, I know you said your writing process is similar. She was saying when you left that when she does something, for instance, if she's eating fish and grits, she thinks, oh, I wonder how people started eating fish and grits. How do you feel about that as far as being a writing process? I guess it's just whatever you think about.
Yo, you talking to me? You talking to her?
You.
Well, let me tell you something. It probably, and she would probably get to the point. Black people used to have a lake somewhere, and they would go fishing. Fishing could become your breakfast. That's why we still eat fish for breakfast. You can eat fish and grits. What do we eat? Fish and grits. That's all was left in the house. You went out and fished, and you came back and you put it, and it's still good today. Fish and grits. Now it moved up to shrimp and grits. Now the white people are eating. See, the white people take a lot of our things, just like yesterday. Buffalo wings. Now, Ms. Caponda, you know for a fact, we grew up eating chicken wings all our life because why? It was the cheapest part of the meat that you could get. And black people just had chicken wings, chicken wings, chicken wings. And about 25 years ago, the white people going, well, what are those so good about? They put a sauce on it called buffalo wings. So they just found out about it. Yesterday was the biggest day for sales for chicken wings. So they have their little bit. You know, we just learned about, no, they got their little secrets. You know, we just learned about carrot cake about 20 years ago. So, but they ain't heard about the monkey bread yet, you know. I think they did hear about the monkey bread, but they don't know about the This Is It cake, you know. So,
all right.
Let me hear her.
Yes, I was going to ask her. I think you've got one more. Big Bertha. Is that your last one, or you want to do?
Big Bertha is fine. Do you want Eartha May?
Either one. Is Eartha May the Swingers?
Yes.
Which one do you want to hear, Big Bertha or the Swingers? Maybe.
Big Bertha.
Big Bertha.
That's my aunt too, ain't Bertha.
All right. Today, this little known fact is about Bertha Big B Brunson of Laurel, Mississippi. February 2nd, 1923, Big B became the first Black female bounty hunter. This occurred after Big B successfully tracked her ex-husband Lionel Stoney Brunson from Laurel, Mississippi, all the way to Juneau, Alaska, armed with only a straight razor, a bottle of bourbon, and a telescope, and she was chasing him to collect back child support. After the news of Big B's success on her own, on her own behalf, other women hired her to track down deadbeats across the country. She was inspired because her fee was 21% of what was owed and the right to keep whatever else she found once the men were apprehended. Big B was so successful that she went on to work for the CIA Fugitive Apprehension Team and trained many successors, most of whom now work for Federal Student Loan Corporation. And we know that they know how to find people.
Now, I can't believe you had that photo up there of Big. Can you put her back up there for a second? This, I don't know how to say this. This is the photo that J. Anthony Brown said, "This is my grandmama." I swear to God. So, look at her. Does she look like me or what? I swear she does. That's the picture they have of me and my grandmama. Oh my goodness.
Well, that's your grandmama's Big Bertha.
Can I see a woman? I got to take a photo of that. That is so good. I know I got it up, but that's Black History Month. That is so cool.
I'll send you the picture of Big Bertha.
I just see you lift every voice and sing also, and maybe one day you can play it because it's a 5 minute. It's like 5 minutes long. And you know, we usually sing the short version, one stanza. I play the whole thing. It's like 4 minutes, and people stand up and we just cry and just lift every voice and sing. What better lyrics ever. And so thank you again for that. And thank you for showing my big mama there.
Big Bertha.
Big Bertha, yeah.
All right. Legendary comedian George Wallace. Don't forget about his book, Bull Twit. If you want to check it out, it is, how can they get the book, George?
You can get the book at georgewallace.com, georgewallace.net. It's a little readings. It's a great table reading, little things that make you, I try to make people pee from their eye. It's even pee a little from your eye. You know, a little saying like when I grew up, Caponda, you're not going to believe this, but when I grew up, we were so poor, we could only watch Sanford. We never knew there was a sun. We never knew there was a sun. And people don't believe that, you know, like that. I grew up right here in Atlanta, right? And we knew the Pips, but nobody ever told us about Gladys Knight. We didn't know about it. That's how poor we were. My dog only had one rabies. That's how poor we were. So little things like that in the book. Straight up things from my ramblings from my head. Like I'll eat cupcakes out of a pan and pancakes out of a cup. And I just talk about little things like that. And Caponda, I want to say to you right now, and also to you, Trey, I want to give a big shout out to your favorite Coke factory. Your favorite Coke factory. Now, I don't know what yours is, Caponda, but mine is Burlington. Okay, so little thoughts like that and things. I got a whole book of E.T. My next one's going to be on The Color Purple. Things I'll straight up do. I'll straight up get a bachelor's degree when I'm committed to in a committed relationship. I'll do that. I'll get a bachelor's degree. You know, just so many stupid things in my book. Okay, I'll straight up do stand up while I'm sitting down because I don't give a damn. I don't play by the rules. I'll take a refrigerator magnet and put it right on the oven because I don't play by the damn rules, okay? So little thoughts like that are in Bull Twit. And Bull Twit is just guaranteed to make you laugh and have some fun. You know, it's get the book and the replies are the greatest. Like I had the top 5 bells the other day. The top 5 bells. And like, Caponda, you can help me with this. We got the Liberty Bell. We got Saved by the Bell. We had, give me another,
Bell bottoms.
Bell bottoms. Yeah, bell bottoms. And I went through all of the bells and Jingle Bells.
Jingle Bell, Jingle Bells.
The replies came back. Oh my God! I guess Taco gets no love, huh? That's when the funny comes in, and then you get another reply. You never heard of Archie Bell and the Drells?
Archie Bell. That's what I was just thinking. What about Archie Bell?
See, that's what is funny about the book. And the next book, which is ready to go, called More Bull Twit, I'm going to add some of the replies. So it's a lot of fun in the book, and it just makes you think a little bit. And when it makes you think, it makes you pee from your eye a little bit. And it's good. It's fun, the book Bull Twit. So get the book, go online, and also follow me on Twitter. I was voted the top 25 funniest tweeters in the world by Rolling Stone magazine. So go online, follow me at Mr. George Wallace, at Mr. George Wallace. Do that today, and we love you. And there's absolutely, I'm supposed to say that at the end, right? And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. But I'm into this Black history. Go back to that lady with all of these amazing facts. Yeah. So far, she's about 28,000 less lies than Trump.
Caponda, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing with us your little known Black history facts. You are amazing. You are creative. And like I said to George.
That's right. Can we write one on that fish and grits? Because that's good. We just make up some shit on fish and grits. That is so cool.
I already did some time ago in my Black history facts.
Okay, that's cool. You
don't
remember it because
person to put ham hocks in greens, all of that.
Okay, how about mustard sardines? How about some things Black people eat? You don't know about that yet, huh? How about fried black bologna? And it has to be black on the end. you know the black, and you know about this, Trey, because you're kind of young.
Fried black bologna? Why did it have? I mean, I don't.
You never had bologna fried? Oh my God, this girl is not beautiful.
All, I'm a vegetarian, but I haven't always been a vegetarian. But I don't know about black bologna. What is black bologna?
If you fry bologna
it till it burns.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
Tell her, Caponda, that's the flavor.
That's the but you see, she's on that mulatto side. They don't eat things like that.
Wow.
Oh my God. How about lamb
that's
chop?
Dark skin eating. Light skinned people, they don't eat burnt food.
Yes. And food combinations. That's amazing. Yeah, food combination. We have, like you said, the fish and the grits. It's the
pork and beans.
Pork and beans. I used to do a joke on that. Why do they call it pork and beans? It's one pork and a truckload of beans. S load of beans. Okay. Yeah. There's one piece of meat in there. I don't know why they call it pork and beans. And there's so many combinations Black people have. I used to do a joke on that, fish and grits. I just said that one. Pork and beans, ham and potato salad, I guess. I don't know.
Ham and cheese.
Ham and cheese, yeah.
Ham and cheese.
I can't believe I had a whole bit. I got to go back to my jokes and because I'm going to bring back my jokes I did. I've been doing comedy for 45 years. I'm going to bring some of those old jokes back, and they will be new to people like Trey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, George. Doris Cochran says, my Sarah Caponda. Maxine Moses said, you have to burn your fried bologna. Precious Mama Titi Robert says, Bulldog Pride. Harlequin Jones is joining us. Thank you guys so much for joining us, for supporting Caponda for always, all these years, 45 years in comedy. Supporting George Wallace. And George, you should do a virtual concert. You haven't thought about that, doing a virtual?
I'm thinking about doing everything. I do a lot. I do work. I do concerts. I did a corporate for McDonald's last week.
Oh, cool.
And it was all the Black franchisees. And I was glad to get to them because I said, listen, I've been waiting to talk to y'all for a long time. I said, you McDonald's, make up your mind. You keep bringing back this damn barbecue McRib sandwich is back. It's back. Make up your mind. Keep it. Forget it. And I didn't tell them the real joke I do because the real joke was we didn't eat that shit the first time y'all brought it up.
I know that's right. That thing looked nasty.
Pickles on a barbecue rib sandwich. We got to have a bone in our barbecue, but McDonald's, they were so nice, and
there's a lot of African American franchise owners here in Columbia. They're about 3 or 4.
Well, you got Bojangles. You got so much in South Carolina, don't you? So many.
Yeah, we got we've got Hardee's, we've got Bojangles, we got Chick-fil-A, we got McDonald's. What else?
Hardee's used to have the best fried chicken in the world. I don't know what happened to them. About 15 years ago, they took it away. That's what they need to bring back, Hardee's fried chicken. Now it's Hardee's. Make up your mind. Is it Hardee's or Carl's Jr.? Make up your mind. Okay?
Right. Yeah. Centrina Montgomery says, great job, Caponda. And Harlequin Jones says, fake meat. I guess she's talking about that McDonald's McRib sandwich. Yeah.
But there's something.
If people want more information about Caponda, we have her email address. Please email her, Caponda for hire.
Absolutely.
How about Caponda for liar?
Now, see, I was trying to leave you alone. I was
trying to be nice to me, right?
Urge to talk about that purple leather jacket this whole time.
Hey, Trey.
Over there looking like a refined pimp.
Hey, Trey, she rolled it now. She know I love it. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, he loved to play the dust.
If you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. Hey, Caponda, I don't give a damn who gets the laugh. I'm the one taking the check home. Go ahead.
Bingo. And now mess around. I'll get a few things. I'll employ my Sadie techniques.
All right.
All that Vegas Strip money you got.
As long as you don't be throwing up your beads and shit. And
I'll mess around and take home all that Vegas money you got.
You got the other girl that got no slip on, got no drawers on. And the other was a gold digger. We've been talking about sex all day, haven't we?
You can tell I like being naked. I mean, I only have on clothes because we're on this. When I'm alone working from home, I work naked.
And when you eat fish and grits, you should do it while you're naked, right?
I do. I do everything naked.
Oh, Lord.
You didn't know we were going to get this funny, did you, Trey? You know,
have mercy.
So let me take my clothes off. Listen, guys, we've been on for an hour already. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the quickest
I
hour.
guess.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having me on this
Thank you,
Monday.
George. Ron Best says, hi, Trey, Caponda, enjoying the laughter. Now, that's our deacon, so y'all got to keep it
Reverend
He's
Best.
a reverend. He's a reverend deacon.
Well, see, Caponda, where you grew up? You grew up in the South, Caponda?
Columbia, South Carolina.
So you just like me. I grew up in Georgia, right? So when Trey, you don't know about this either because you're kind of young. When we grew up, on Sunday, that's a preacher. They didn't want us to go play ball on Sunday. They didn't want us to watch the car on Sunday. You couldn't go to the movies on Sunday. The preacher wouldn't let us do nothing on Sunday. In the meantime, they were fathering half the kids in the neighborhood.
Wow. Wow.
That's why you couldn't go anywhere. You needed to be where they could find you.
This is true, too. See? Now you're learning things, aren't you, Trey?
Y'all schooling me. Y'all learning me. Like Jethro used to say, y'all learning me.
See, like the preacher used to go by the lady's house every Sunday, and the husband came home, and she says, honey, what's all this chicken in here for on the table? She said, well, the pastor stopped by today, and I fixed him a little something. He said, all right. The next Sunday he came home, and he was just coming and walking in the house, and he said, notice a lot of chicken. Honey, what's all this chicken in here in this thing? But the two of us live here. Why you got all this chicken? She said, well, the pastor came by today, and I fixed him a little something. This went on for about 3 months. And finally she walked in. He says, honey, now listen to me. What is all this chicken? She said, the pastor came by today and I fixed him a little something. And you know what the husband said to her? Screw him. She said, I did, but he still wanted some chicken.
Wow. But
he still wanted some chicken.
George Wallace, thank you. Go to georgewallace.com for more information about George. Buy the book Bulltwit at georgewallace.com. And for more information about Caponda Narciso coming to a bookstore near you, because that was a great idea George had, Caponda, about. And she could even do a calendar, right, George? She could do a calendar.
She could do that too, because we had that at my family reunion. I had that in my book, my welcome book, Black History Moments, on this day and that day, things that happened. Yes, you can do that. How about that? Yeah. I think that's the funniest thing in the world. Oh my God! Just sell the hell out of that book.
Yeah.
They start making up stuff right now. Why we keep towels in the bathroom? Why do most black families have towels in the bathroom? But my towels have been there for 2 years.
You can't use.
You better not touch those stuff. Hey, Caponda, we used to wipe our hands on the walls. We couldn't touch those towels. So many black. Do you call them black habits or black?
Let's call them black idiosyncrasies.
Idiosyncrasies. There you go. Yeah, there you go. So So now you're writing. So you're with me, and I love it. And once again, I'm out. Thank you so much. God bless you. Something good's gonna happen to you. And if you see someone without a smile, give them yours.
Oh.
Yeah. George Wallace, thank you so much for joining us. Caponda, thank you so much. Darth Cochran says again, we love all of Caponda's Black History moments, and but y'all need to buy the book when it comes out too. Don't love it enough to buy it.
Right now, her book is just a composite, just a little sheets of paper. But buy it. What's it?
Yeah, buy it once you put it together.
What do you call it? That little composition book, but 20 pages in it. Yeah, right.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, Caponda, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. George, as usual, as always, thank you so much for giving us your time, your talent, and all of your great wisdom. Dina Marie said, we enjoyed George Wallace. Dina Marie, thank you. Ron Best said, George Wallace, iconic.
Thank you. Make sure you get that song and sometime next week, lift every voice and sing, okay?
Yeah, I will. I'm going to download it and get it in. Absolutely.
And you just love it. I'm trying to get it on to close,
Okay, you're going to turn it on. Okay, while you're doing that, George, let me just say this. If you have a product or service that could help someone cope with COVID, please email copingwithtreTailor@gmail.com. You can see the information scrolling at the bottom. We would love for you to be a proud sponsor, just like SCDHEC, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, Agape Counseling and Training Center, and Palmetto Media Connections. Also, In It Together SC and the South Carolina Diabetes Advisory Council. If you have a story or an initiative that could help someone cope with COVID, please go to the Tailor Made Production Facebook page and inbox me. We would love to feature you on Coping with COVID. Now, coming up Wednesday, In It Together SC and the South Carolina Diabetes Advisory Council present every Wednesday on Coping with COVID. Wednesday, we're going to talk about how relationships affect your health with Dr. Stacey Carey Thompson and Tina Phillips with No Shame Counseling. Thursday, Emily Parks, Chief of Staff of DSS, will join us about their new Thriving Families initiative. And Dr. Aditi Brussels talks about what COVID has taught us about equity and equality. Saturday, George, you may join us for this. You may want to join us for this. Saturday, we're going to do a special show ahead of Valentine's Day, a conversation with single Black men.
Okay.
Ladies,
all the single Black men, if you're driving by a cemetery, get your flowers.
Oh, wow. That Saturday at 6 p.m., we're going to do a special
flowers. They're the same flowers. Don't you look at me like that, Caponda. They're the same damn flowers, okay?
That's somebody else's flowers.
I don't want flowers. I mean, you bring me something like a rack of ribs or edible arrangement. Don't bring me no flowers. Nah, bro.
You don't want your flowers while you living. You want some meat.
Hey, bring something. I'm a big girl. Bring me something I can use. I can't eat flowers.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. And I'll just, we'll close with a little bit of this. And
all right. So that's coming up next weekend on Coping with COVID. Come on. And so while George is playing are you playing the Lift Every Voice and Sing?
Can you hear it a little bit?
A little bit.
Not enough.
Yeah. Let me see if I can
play it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right there in front of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining us. George Wallace, Caponda Narciso, we appreciate you guys so much. Take care. God bless. And happy Black History Month. Let me leave you with a reading from Jesus Calling. Unless, George, you want to say something inspirational to oh, he gone. We're going to leave you with a reading from Jesus Calling, February 8th. Caponda, you have some inspirational you want to share? She said no. No. All right. Here's our Jesus Calling for today. Jesus says, I am above all things, your problems, your pain, and the swirling events of this ever-changing world. When you behold my face, you rise above circumstances and rest with me in heavenly realness. This is the way to peace, living in the light of my presence. It shows you that you will always have problems in this life, but they must not become your focus. When you feel yourself sinking into the sea of circumstances, say, help me, Jesus, and I will draw you back to me. If you have to say that thousands of times daily, don't be discouraged. Jesus says, I know your weakness, and I meet you in that very place. That's your Jesus Calling for today, Monday, February 8th. I'm Tre Tailor. Thank you again so much for joining us. Until the next time, I wish you peace and abundant blessings. I hope that you stay careful, stay safe, get your vaccine if you are in that category, and please wear your mask over your nose and under your chin. See ya.
Coping with COVID, updates on the pandemic and information to help you thrive and survive COVID-19. It's brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control. Visit scdheck.gov for an updated list of testing sites and important information on how to protect yourself, your family, and friends from the coronavirus. SCDHEC, healthy people, healthy communities. In It Together and the South Carolina Diabetes Advisory Council, presenting Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday on Coping with COVID. The City of Columbia Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, helping to meet the needs of small, minority, and women-owned businesses in the city of Columbia. Log on to columbiasc.net/OBO. Agape Counseling and Training Services. Call 803-779-2777 for licensed professionals of counselors and social workers helping families, engaged and married couples, and individuals of all ages gain an understanding of all aspects of their lives. If you're having a challenge coping with COVID, contact Agape Counseling and Training Services at agapects.com. And Palmetto Media Connections, connecting media and communities together. Coping with COVID, brought to you by SCDHEC, In It Together, the Diabetes Advisory Council, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, Agape Counseling and Training Center, and Palmetto Media Connections.
Coping with COVID with Tre Tailor.